And welcome back for the third take of this. First two, there was an issue, and then I got a freaking ad playing that was really irritating as hell. But anyway, it's October. We're doing Halloween-based ones now. So you'll see horror icons, horror-based, like in this case, Sorin, the planeswalker who we have into this week's monthly Woodwind, is a vampire planeswalker. And you'll see that throughout the week. Also, or throughout the month. Also, what's good about that is I got a lot of horror theme requested ones to do. So it's going to give me a chance to really crack them out. And really, cut down the list of suggestions. I occasionally do a horror theme one every now and then. Outside of the Halloween month. But that's the month where it's almost all Halloween based. It does also mean, though, I may end up skipping over a couple people in the lineup. But I will backtrack and get to those people after the Halloween season's over. So, basically, we have Sorin Markov versus Alucard. Both are vampires, both are extremely old, and both have a lot of abilities to them. Alucard, well, might as well go to Alucard, because he's probably one of the most regular individuals I've had on this series. Alucard was human at around age 45. He was crucified, or he was imprisoned and died, or was killed, and he became a vampire. He's roughly about almost 600 years old. He lived through the Crusades, killed off the Turks. He is a brutal individual. He loves a good fight, loves to just kind of bitch clap characters around, but he does have his limits. People can take him by surprise because of his arrogance. He's a very arrogant and proud individual. He also does have a sophisticated side. He's not a complete monster, but he is well spoken. But he is brutal as well. He will eat you. He will mess you up. Do whatever he has to. Alucard's main form of power comes from he's just physically stronger than your average individual, no doubt. He is by all accounts Dracula. His regeneration is without question almost nigh unstoppable. His regeneration, he can regenerate from just about anything. He has been torn to shreds by conventional weapons and holy weapons designed to kill him, and survived all of it. Holy weapons, while they affect him more, are regenerated all at the same time, if not quickly. Basically, he can be hurt. In fact, he still feels pain, but you can't kill him by conventional means. However, this is believed to be because his regeneration, again, is believed to be due to the fact that he swallowed so many souls and has so many souls basically in him, and anytime he consumes someone's blood, he consumes their soul. That basically his regeneration, when he gets injured, he just swaps out the lethal hit for his soul with that person's soul. Dark composition. Though it generally dons a corporeal humanoid form, Alucard is made up of a highly variable otherworldly substance that is black in core and reddish on its edge. It can be especially seen when he takes heavy damage. Intangibility. He can walk through solid objects, such as walls. It's unclear if Alucard is truly immortal, but he is at least biologically immortal. He can suffer through all manner of injury and to the most degree, only to reform himself. It seems to indicate structural immortality as well. But he himself asserts that there is no such thing as a true immortal. That means his immortality is only biological, and there is a way to kill him. Anderson's words of him being alone and his duel with him implies that after the seals are removed, his actual heart is vulnerable to impalation. What kind of word is that? To being impaled? Impalation? Impalation. Yeah. I'm reading this off to get the actual legitimate information, so I still having a call. Yeah, IMPALATIOH. I'm sure that's a word. Impalation? Vulnerable to being impaled. How is that any different? If not in other forms of destruction, which would in turn destroy him for good. After absorbing, however, Schrodinger's souls, his immortality may have been augmented, but if so, it's not known how. We won't use that Alucard because that kind of isn't fair on some level. Because Schrodinger was kind of hacks them anyways. Hematophology. If as a vampire, he has the ability to consume blood raw as long as it's canonically to the fangs of his sister jaw like a serpentine tongue. He drinks blood. Will enter a dormant state if he goes too long without blood. Hemokinesis has the ability to manipulate blood. The ability seems to be limited to blood outside the body, as it's never been seen influence the blood of people or influencing the blood inside people. Obviously, he absorbs souls, familiar control. People he absorbs, he can use as familiar. Shape shifting. It doesn't really matter. Mist body, extrasensory. His senses are well beyond immortals. Hand strength, quite strong. Vampiric speed, moves quite fast. Reflexes. Does have some telepathy, a little bit of telekinesis. Day walking, he actually can go out during the day, whereas Sorin actually does have some issue going through that the day. So long as the sun's not directly on him, he can do it. Hypnotism, weather control, to at least a little bit of level. Alucard's been shown to summon special blue flames when he first released his restricted system level 1. He was engulfed in blue flames and ladder in his final fight against Anderson. Showing that he can affect divine objects. It's not like he can just fire, but he can kind of summon it to some degree. Let's see. Gravity, defiance. He seems to float without ease. Omniscience, but we're not going to go into that because that's with Schrodinger. And supernatural detection. So this will be easy to see how they end up meeting each other. Don't forget, and there's also, of course, release restraint level 1, which enhances abilities, and then release restraint level 0, which basically turns him into actual Dracula. But he's at his most vulnerable in that form. Sorin Markov is from a plane known as Anstroi, which is based on Gothic horror. He is a vampire. He is he's several thousand years old at minimum. It's believed to be at least 7,000 years old. Excuse me. He's one of the oldest planeswalkers in the series, along with Ugin and Nicol Bolas, 2 elder dragons. He's kind of a hedonist. He just does what he likes. He just lives his long existence for his pleasures. But he does have but he does have some moral standards. Like, he'll protect the overall layout of the universe if he has to, multiverse. He wields a sword. He is an expert swordsman. Though he's a bit more of a savage. In a way that he uses his sword, though he still has finesse to it. He's a vampire, so he has near limitless stamina, speed. Well, not speed per se, but stamina, strength, speed, and reflexes are all heightened. But he is also a sangromancer, which a sangromancer is a blood magic kind of user. And he can do that. He can manipulate people's blood inside their body. He can manipulate their blood to also control their minds, to create vampiric familiars. He does have a level of white magic control, but he's mostly a black magic user. Can place curses on them. He does have levels of hypnotism. He's basically biologically immortal. But he's not. He's not like. He can be killed. Is what I'm saying. He's not. He's not invulnerable, or he's not immortal in that sense. He also, before the whole pre-mening when planeswalkers were gods, he actually was able to create a full-on angelic being. So he created an angel known as Absent, who was quite powerful indeed, and it drained him a lot of his energy. But then he later bounced back from it. I'm trying to think what else he has here. He was one of the planeswalkers who sealed the Eldrazi on a certain plane, who were basically Cthulhu-esque beings, Eldritch horror beings. He's also resistant to death manipulation because he survived having his own death magic, which you can also use, thrown back at him. Apparently he does have some level of reality warping, which I'm not familiar with. Healing, which makes sense. He's a vampire. He's also fought with the Eldrazi, who passively erase things from existence around them. He's quite powerful in his own regards. So he is a very old, very powerful, both these characters don't give two shits, normally speaking. So let's say how this fight breaks down. Sorin has decided to visit in the world of Hellsing. He just, transports there. He's busy just kind of enjoying himself, taking in the sights, having a snack every now and then. And there's reports of a vampire. So the housing organization sends Alucard. Now Alucard runs into Sorin, who is busy just kind of enjoying. I'd imagine Sorin could probably still enjoy wine if he wants to and all that. So he's probably just enjoying a drink, taking in the sense like Alucard kind of goes up, and they can both probably sense each other, so they realize, oh, this guy's different. So they both are like, so how may I be helping you today? So Alucard's just shooting the shit, and Sorin's just like, look, I don't give two shits about these mortals or anything like that, but if we're going to do this, can we do this in someplace a little bit more scenic? You pick the spot, I'll be there. So they go, and they basically confront each other, and Sorin's got his sword ready, and Alucard's got his, itching for his guns, but, and they're just kind of standing there. And then Sorin makes the first move, and the fight begins, and immediately, they both realize our hypnosis isn't going to work on each other. We're too powerful for that. Alucard's throwing his, blasting with the jackal, and the other one, I can't remember the other one's name, shooting at him. Sorin's blocking with his blades, throwing death magic at Alucard. Alucard, it would not be... Sorry, that hurts. Would not be immune to the death magic, but he also wouldn't be... The death magic wouldn't immediately kill him, because of the way his body supposedly works. But it is still something that Alucard would be like, oh shit. So he realizes I can't be hit by that too much. So he immediately decides to release restraints, and then they clash. Physically speaking, at this point now, Alucard has the advantage. He also has his Hounds of Baskerville, which he summons at him. Sorin basically just uses some magic, black magic, which fortunately he's got plenty of around thanks to Alucard's presence in the supernatural world that Hellsing is. So he just stops the Hounds dead in their tracks because of the nature of Alucard's body, kind of like blood magic, kind of like a viscous, bloody material, sort of, or just dark magic. And it's within his realm of powers to manipulate that. Sorin can manipulate the blood in others, whereas Alucard needs the blood to probably be outside the body, from what it seems to be like. So he stops the Hounds there and checks and kind of just wrecks them apart. Alucard, however, then comes in and just boom, spears him through the chest. Sorin's just like, ugh. Then he just runs Alucard through, pumping his death magic through the blade, killing off a lot of souls at once, and can only do this so long as the blade's in there. Alucard realizes, I need to get the hell out of this, so he just takes his own arm off. And then, Sorin just absorbs the energy out of the arm and just kind of heals himself up enough that he can keep going. Now they're both realizing, oh, this guy could actually kill me. Okay, now we got a fight going on here. So I could see Sorin actually raising just taking over the minds of the animals in the area, birds, squirrels, whatever, vampire birds and squirrels coming, kind of just after Alucard. Alucard's just like, oh, this is bullshit. And he actually probably has Integra on the lines like, Sir Integra, may I please? Like, no, you may not, but he's actually really good. I don't know if I have anything that can... Fine, release restraint level 0. With hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. I like that one better than the original version. Release restraint level 0. And then, of course, now you have Alucard's level 0 form coming out to play. And now it's a whole army of just mindless drones that he's basically absorbed and eaten over the years. But I don't think... See, Sorin can probably... Granted, they're under Alucard's control, but that doesn't mean that control might not be usurped by Sorin. So Sorin maybe can at least take control of some of them, because I'd imagine that their control might be on an even playing field, and he could take over some of them, and while using death magic and, his strength, just slicing through them, plus his regeneration capabilities. There's enough blood around and dark mana, black mana at this point. They can just heal himself up with no problem. So now he's just coming through, certainly getting damaged at that point, but just trying through, coming in at Alucard and him clash again, gun to blade, just boom, boom. Or actually blade to blade at this point. So now you got two vampires with blades just coming out, just ching, ching, ching. Just awesome back and forth. That'd be a great thing to see animated. Oh, so they were just ching, ching, blades going back and forth, back and forth. They're both hitting solid hits in on each other. They both respect and acknowledge each other, but at that point now it's just said, it's time to end this. And then shoots Sorin again, just, Sorin's coughing up blood. That's right. And then, starts like, oh, this weapon is perfect. And then he's about to fire it again. All of a sudden, he can't move. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, and at this point, Sorin's just like, I've had enough of you. And then he just starts. Alucard actually starts to feel the pull coming out of the blood's actually starting to leave his body. What? Alucard decides, nope, I'm just going to start absorbing the blood back into me, starting my guys back into me. But Sorin's doing the exact same thing, starting to absorb Alucard's buddies into him. So now they're both back to full health, but Alucard's got a lot less guys left in him. So now it's like, and Sorin's just ready for round 4 at this, but whatever round it is. So the fight continues on. Alucard's losing more ground. He's still able to hit Sorin. If he can just get a headshot in on Sorin, he'll win. But Sorin is the problem here is Sorin has. Alucard is just about 600 years old, give or take. Sorin is well over 7,000 years old. He is, at minimum, 11 times older than Alucard and has been around far longer and seen far more than Alucard ever has seen. So he's got more than enough battle reflexes to block that with his sword, enough death magic to basically or enough black magic control to basically just screw over anyone. And at that point, he notices the way Alucard's body works, so he places pretty much like a curse on us, the souls. In fact, he probably did that before Alucard reabsorbed the souls into him. So Alucard quickly starts falling down, coughing up his own blood. Then he sort of explains that he placed a death curse on every soul that was in the area that he absorbed. And Alucard now is just coughing up blood, and Sorin just holds the blade to his head. And Alucard actually just gives him a smile. It's like, oh, well played. Shink! And then Alucard's head goes. And then at this point, there's nothing Alucard can do. Alucard. I keep saying Alucard, but it's Alucard. Well, it is spelled Alucard, but Alucard. Alucard can do. The souls that would help him with his regeneration ultimately have, supposedly anyway, allegedly, have been cursed and then damned. So now there's souls that can't help him out, and his regeneration just falters and fails at that point. So he just falls, but he dies with a smile on his face, and Sorin acknowledges him as a warrior. And then he goes and eats someone just because he's hungry now. So Sorin Markov, I actually think Sorin's the one who takes the win. He's someone who actually can take the advantage over Alucard and win over Alucard, I think because of the nature of him, because his blood magic is more potent than Alucard's blood magic, little blood magic we know he has, I ultimately think that, yes, he would be the victor of the fight long term. But there is a catch. If Alucard could get a headshot in and basically just blow his head off, then yeah, absolutely, Alucard could win. What's the likelihood of that? What's the likelihood of that actually happening? Oh, that's a tough one, because again, age-wise and from a battle experience point of view, Alucard normally would beat out most individuals. But Sorin's not that kind of individual, so he actually loses the majority of those fights in terms of just sheer battle experience. So in that regard, I would probably go, when we talk about the likelihood of it happening, him getting a headshot or a lethal shot in with his guns. Particularly the one, I believe the Jackal was designed for dealing with regenerators like Anderson. I would say it's about probably an 80-20. I think that's likely. 1/5 of the time, Alucard can win, but 80% of the time, it's going to be Sorin, I think. That's my thoughts on that. But what do you think? Put your ideas, your thoughts on this in the comments below, and let me know. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. So if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. Do a review of it at some point. I will actually have a review for Smallfoot, because it got requested to me by a viewer known as Jaden the Critic. So yeah, I'm gonna see Smallfoot tomorrow, and Venom obviously is gonna be later week. I'm looking forward to Venom, man. I'm hoping the review embargo not being lifted until like a day before it's because there's something major they're hiding in the movie that I don't want spoiled. Otherwise, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed with him. I want Tom Hardy, man. Riz Ahmed. I know Woody Harrelson's in there. I'm hoping he's playing Carnage. The effects look good. The action looks good. Venom's character, the little we've seen, looks good. This looks good. I want it to be good. But I can't stick my head in the sand if it is bad. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, and then obviously I'll have what if who wins on uh, Wednesday. Who would win on Friday. And again, it's going to be all horror Halloween kind of themes. So, keep just your eyes out for those. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And it's just starting, folks. Ooh.